When you first launch the VCBA S2 software, you'll see a blank workspace along with the command ribbon at the top. Related commands are grouped together in the command ribbon. The View group provides options for viewing a test record's graph, test report, and test plan. The Test group provides functions for working with test records. The Graph group offers tools for working with graphs. The Test Plan group provides functions for working with test plans. The Windows group gives you the option to view the same test record in multiple windows. For example, you can view the graph in one window and the test report in another window. Or you can view different graph zoom levels in each window. Lastly, the Application group lets you configure the default application settings by clicking on the Settings icon. At the top left corner of the application window is the VCBA S2 menu button. Click on this button to view a list of your recent documents. You can also print test records from this menu. If this is the first time you're using the VCBA S2 software, we highly recommend configuring the default application settings. Let's click on the Settings icon in the Application group on the command ribbon. The Communications section lists options for connecting your breaker analyzer to the computer so that it can communicate with the software. In most cases, checking the Auto Detect Device option will be able to detect the breaker analyzer connected to your computer. So we will enable this option for this example. If you have an older unit like the CT8000 that is connected via USB, please uncheck the Auto Detect Device option and check the Use USB port checkbox. The Cycle per Second option lets you select the default frequency. The Graph and Overlay settings let you configure the default options for graphs. You can toggle the option to display the velocity curve on graphs. You can also set the graph foreground and background colors. Also, if using the Test Record Overlay feature, you can set the colors that should be used for each test record's graph. The VCBA S2 software can automatically export test records in PDF, XML, and Excel formats. You can enable the Auto Export option by checking the appropriate checkboxes. You can also select which graph pages will be exported to the selected formats. Lastly, the Folders and Settings options allow you to configure the default locations for test records, test plans, the logo image file used for reports, and the location of the default test plan to use. The Test Folder input field shows the current default folder where test records are stored and retrieved from. The default location is C, Vanguard, VCBA S2, Tests, but can be changed by clicking on the folder icon. If you decide to change this location, please be aware that you must have read and write privileges to this folder. The Plan Folder input field shows the current default folder where test plans are stored and retrieved from. You can also change this location by clicking on the folder icon. You can customize your test reports with your company's logo by providing the location to the logo file in the Report Logo field. The logo file must be in bitmap format, and we recommend an image size of 4000 pixels by 400 pixels or any size with 10:1 proportions. The VCBA S2 software can use a default test plan for performing tests. The default test plan defines color settings for graph elements, default values for analysis points, and other default testing parameters. You can set a default test plan in the Default Test Plan field. Click on the OK button when you've made any necessary changes to the application settings. If you'd like to test to see if the software can communicate with your device, simply click on the Download from Device icon in the test group. This will display a list of all test records stored in the connected unit's internal memory. If the device is connected properly, you will see the test record directory listing. Otherwise, a communication error will be displayed.